The first demonstration, we are just going to use the pot. Normally vegetables are cooked with water, and that's also the way I like them. I like them best, or it's going the fastest way. But what you have to realize with a modern cookware like this one, you shouldn't put your vegetables under water as our parents and grandparents did, because they didn't have the good cookware. They didn't have lids that were closing. They didn't have cookware with a good basis. So they needed a lot of water. They had to put their vegetables under water to obtain a well-cooked result. Not with these pots. In fact, never use these pots full of water. You may do it, but use a little water. That's very fast. It's faster. You keep the vitamins. You don't have to add a lot of salt or no salt at all. So it is really very convenient. Now we are going to another extreme. We are going to cook without water, without supplementary water. This is a method that is demonstrated by a lot of companies also in this market that are selling house to house, direct sales, like Tupperware and other companies. You have here Temptone, Demeyere, and other companies that are demonstrating this and selling cookware double the price of ours. But without all the features that we can give you. And they are building their strength on the cooking without water, frying without fat, and they say that's very healthy, so you have to pay for your health, so you have to buy these expensive products. Well, we show here in the Sirocco line, and the same can be done in the Atlantis line, you can do all these things much better than in theirs. So we are starting with a completely empty cooking pot, and I put here a number of vegetables together. And it's again very simple. I put carrots, potatoes, some cauliflower, some broccoli. And they are here washed with water. So they are wet. And we are going to put them just by leaving some drops. There are some drops of water. We are going to put them inside the cooking pot. Now, important with this method, when you would use it, is that you are filling the pot at least 3 quarts. So don't just put a base. So this means that sometimes it's better to choose a smaller saucepan for a certain amount of food, but you have to be able to fill it up. The reason is that we are cooking here by the steam or the water that's inside the vegetables. So we are making steam one time, and this is going to recirculate through the system. And in fact, we don't need too much air. The more air we have, the less appropriate the cooking will be. So we have to fill it up. Okay, now we are going to put the lid on it. And this is a lid that is very well sealed, and we will come back to it later. Never use a flame that is going around the pot. Some people think that it will speed up the cooking. In fact, it's just the contrary. If we are having a flame that's surrounding the pot, we are certainly going to heat up the handles, but we are going to slow the process. So always use a flame that is sitting in the middle of the base of the pot or the pan. Now, suppose that we would leave this big flame for the whole process. There would happen one thing: we would burn everything, because naturally we have no water that's going to cook, so we have no steam that may escape, because if we have a lot of steam escaping, we are going to we are going to burn the food. So this means that we have to control the heat by different means, and one of the means is feel the temperature on the top of the lid. At this moment it's cold. It's cold because we still have this amount of food that has to come from normal environmental temperature to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have to wait until the lid is really hot to the feel. So when the fingers say, okay, this is really hot, I cannot touch it anymore, we have reached the temperature where steam is produced by the food. So the steam is going to come against the lid, is going to condensate, make drops, fall down to the base, and there the base we just have to apply enough heat, a little bit of heat, just to make steam again. So we have to make like a cycle, steam going through the food, condensating against the cover, falling down on the base, which is a very special base, making steam again, and doing the cycle all the time. Now, at the moment, the temperature here is high enough, so I mean the steam is produced. We have to lower the heat literally to a candlelight flame. We could as well use a table warmer with one candlelight, and I could place the pot on top of it. And this amount of one flame would be sufficient for the whole process of the cooking without water. Because the construction of the cooking pot has been made that we don't waste heat to the outside, to the kitchen. We keep all the heat in the base. We keep it inside the body of the pot. We protect it by a very strong stainless steel cover, etc. So I will come back to that in a minute. Suppose that you would see steam, if you don't want to feel, if you see steam appearing between the cover and the body of the pot, this means that the heat is already too high, so this means you have to lower it. Also later on, when we are going to lower the heat to the lowest level, when we see steam appearing, we have still to lower more, otherwise we burn. It's like the steam which is pressuring against the body of the lid and lifting it up, so we have to avoid that. So it's nearly there, so we can now lower, and I'm going to lower really to the point where we have here a very small burner, and I know it will be difficult to see it, but there is a very small central burner, and even that one I will put it here to simmer. In fact, there is an indication here, simmer. So that would be, I will little bit higher, so I prefer that when we see steam appearing, tell me, and I lower a little bit more. I will take the pot over here, and we will see what's the result. So it's all done. I hope we will be able to put all this. And there is still some liquid coming out, so this means that the system has worked perfectly. So in fact, this is